Well, in all this, because as I said, it's a very long story that I had to cut and put in place in very short time. But, uh, well, to be honest, I when I was doing athletics, let me take you a little bit back to answer your question.
Yeah.
Uh, when I was growing up, I was always so lonely because people didn't understand more about my disability. Some people think it's contagious and blah blah. I'm sure you know about that. I don't want to go into all those details. So I always knew that there are so many groups of people with disabilities that would just love to sit there and talk to someone, just to talk to someone. How was your day? What are you doing? You get my point. So during my athletics, I created a group where every last Saturday of the month, I could invite people from different places to just come and share abilities. Because in my sense, I knew that when I invite people without disabilities and they hear people with disabilities sharing, they could pick a leaf. They could know that, oh, these people also get hurt. Oh, actually, they need love. Oh, actually, this is not contagious. That was my sense in it. And on the part of people with disabilities, I always knew that when you hear someone's problems, then you get to understand actually I'm being weak, or actually there is a solution from all this sharing. And one day from all this sharing, there is a very little girl who asked me that, Joseph, I love what you do and I would love to do it, but I can't because my body is so weak. But I don't know, I would love to do something like to be like you, to be important. And I didn't have an answer. So actually, it's this little girl who changed my life. Because I was searching for an answer, because I told her I'll get back to you when I find something to do. So, but at that time, I didn't have any idea. But this is the same period when I was invited for the workshop I talked about. And when I was in that workshop, the lady was explaining, this lady was from Sweden. She was explaining what contemporary is, how do you do it, like it's self-expression, working with the body. And I'm like, this is it. This is the answer to the girl, because she can work with her body. So in order to take this information to the girl, I needed to understand what I'm taking to the girl. And in finding research for the girl, I ended up falling in love with dance. Yes. So it was actually a turning point for me from athletics to dance, finding answers for someone who needed to do something with her body. They already, with what they've seen, for example, when you look at all dance schools in Europe, be it in Africa, they're always inspired by the European culture, which is a very good thing, don't get me wrong, but everyone now wants to be a ballet dancer. But when you dig down, trying to understand where does it come from, they don't know. They just want to do a movement. Get my point? And this has left so many people behind, because you're trying to copy a culture that you don't have an idea about. It's good to learn and to have so many different techniques, but then I suggest you would understand. But in my understanding and according to my research that I've been doing, you need to first understand who you are and your body. Because as Africans, let me say as everyone, we've always inherited something. We have so much inheritance, because when you take it back from back like in 1,000 years, our ancestors used to communicate with music, with entertainment. They could create harvest dance. They could create interesting ways how they could talk to their kings or to their gods. And all these movements, we've inherited it. And I think the body already has a language that can speak, can be universal without speaking with words, with just a facial expression, adding just movement, someone could understand what your line really is. So I made it my thing to see that I find my own language. I find like what can I really do with my body, and it helps me to express myself and to put the message that I really want to put out there. And it has been working perfectly for me, and I've really been like, because every time I do different performances, it's always my thing that I stay with an audience to talk to them and ask them, did you understand the performance? And I'm always surprised without even explaining the performance. They're already telling me, we saw in the performance you are talking about the pain, the happiness with your family, and I don't say any word, so I find it fascinating. That's why I'm like, yes, I love to use my body to create my own language without copying what is already there. How can I excavate from what the body already has inside me and then use it into something useful and entertaining and bringing us together? Second or the first will be the ballet. So there is something that I was already put in place, that this is what dance should be. And I think dance is large. Dance is a huge topic. Like, it goes beyond a single technique, because for example, I'll also give you one example. Only in Uganda you will see that we have over 56 languages, like tribes, and this calls for 56 traditions. And all these traditional groups have different cultures, they have different ways of entertainment, so it carries a lot of rich history that we've still inherited. And talk about, I can also give you, even Nigeria has around 130 something like ethnics. This calls for all these rich histories. And when you look at the building of this contemporary and modern dance, it was also their tradition dance that was beautified and put lights and put on stage, and everyone say, yes, this is what we want. But yes, before you go to that one, you also have your tradition that you can really try to also understand, where does it come from, why even that, So I think this takes me to, now I think we need to redefine it, to decolonize it, to see now what is really dance to you. And because it goes even beyond the entertainment, it's even a body therapy. Have you been on stage making different turns? You're just in your body. I think it's a total different therapy. It goes beyond entertainment, so that's a very good question. But if I start listing things that have come out of my projects, we would not stop today. I'm telling you, because there's so much. But I'll tell you my the things that I've done out there, and it's recognized. But the things that really makes my heart melt, in Uganda, there are communities of people with disabilities that have started businesses, that have started pushing hard, and they've been fighting hard, like writing me, when you're in Uganda, please come see my business. I started because you said this. I started because I saw you doing this. And every time I see that, this keeps me going. It fuels my heart, and I'm like, this one simple person makes me good, then I can at least push. But there have been so many results of my work that there is a very big project that came about from South Africa, and it was because of my creations, and even here in Austria, actually, the work we're working on, Kings and Queens, that has been recently being performed. It was after Corinne meeting with me. She loves to work with people with disabilities, and seeing all my my engagements with people with disabilities, my body movements. Then she was interested in putting me with a different group to see if we can come up with something, and we've come up with a production that has been touring for over a year now. Um, there is a project also that happened in Hamburg, and so I could tell that there have been so many projects that I need also to check on my list and be like, even this one. Yes, please.